Hey everybody, so Heather and Matt here, live from our camper, and it's our first camping trip
without kids.
And so wanted to just take you on a little tour of what we use Norwex, but just a couple of other little tips. So I'm someone that I get motion sick really bad, so even a simple thing like the camper being unlevel, Matt has made it to where it's just awesome. So I want to share just a couple of tips, and he's going to maybe just briefly talk about how we use Norwex outside, but then a couple of ways we level. So let's start with how we level, and then we'll talk about the mop.
Yeah.
You want to do that? Okay.
Yeah, we're in a very unlevel spot, so it's
I'm going to flip it around. He can explain.
Yeah.
Let's start with what most people would probably recognize.
Yeah. So if you are a camper, you know what it's like to try to level left to right. So these are called Anderson blocks, and they just let us kind of roll up and level it out. I have a fancy little app that I use and a device that's hooked to the camper that tells me how level a camper is, and it's real time.
What's this thing right here?
That's called an X-Chock. That keeps the camper from going front to back. It's not a chock, but it helps keep it from moving. And this is experimental. Thank gosh to YouTube for teaching us how to do this. Just a simple 2x4, cut it a 45-degree, ratchet strap together, and it keeps the camper from moving side to side. So far, it's working better than anything we bought. $2 versus like $100 for some of the stuff we bought.
And it totally works. The camper
it works great.
like when we're walking back and forth, you don't feel it moving. All right, let's talk about the mop. So we have two out here.
Yep.
And this is...
Let me talk about what you got this thing?
Well, yeah, and you can...
Yeah. So this is the mop handle, which Heather will show you the mop later. But there are all kinds of attachments that you can get onto this. But for outside, you can see we've got this carpet. I love this rubber brush. We can actually kind of like use just to get rocks and stuff off. But then also, if you've camped before, camper sitting underneath trees, it's nice to go up on top and the slide out. So we want to make sure we get stuff off the slide out. So I utilize this rubber brush. I can extend it out nice, and I don't have to like lean over the side of the camper. But then also, it's really great after it rains. This squeegee is important because rain will stay up on that topper, and then before we take it in, I like to squeegee it off so that the water doesn't all go back inside the camper, and Heather doesn't have to mop it up inside, which we've done that before. But yeah, so this is fantastic, the rubber brush with the squeegee, but then the mop handle is transferable to lots of things, as I know Heather's going to talk about.
Yeah. You want me to talk about it, or you want to do it?
I'll take the phone.
Okay. Okay, so this is for primarily inside, right? But lots of people do lots of things with the mop system. So you can see it's dirty. This is a dry mop. Archie's inside, you can hear him. But I want to show you guys something fun. So this is the mini mop. So I like the mini mop in the camper. A lot of people, depending on your homes, whatever, but specifically for the camper, we use the large mop at home to do, or Matt does it, I don't do it, to clean the roof. Right? And then we use a couple mops, and we'll do the whole outside of the camper, wash the whole camper with just microfiber and water in our mop system, so it's super easy. This is the tile mop pad. I like it for the laminate flooring that's in the camper, just kind of scrubs it, especially with the dog and drips and stuff like that. So I'm going to try something I've never done, but normally I use the wet mop, just the plain wet mop pad, but I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to clean the windows. So if you can reach the windows with a step stool and our EnviroCloth window cloth, that's my number one go-to, but if you can't reach them, this is fantastic. And I noticed this, it's on the inside, but there's, I don't know, little smudgy prints, so I'm going to do that on the inside. But
it's probably the dog.
I don't know how you put it, but that's how easy you could do that. And then to dry it, that's where I like to do my window cloth. That's a dirty window. And I don't think this is going to work. You want the window pad, but we'll see. This might make it worse, but we're just trying.
Actually not working too bad.
It's actually working pretty good. Now, if I would go to do this on my floor, being wet on the floor, it doesn't move very good. So that's one way you could do it. So,
but again, you've got a window cloth.
The window cloth is what I
works for that
recommend.
better, yeah.
This is what I had outside. So typically, like, I like to have clean windows because I want to see the amazing views. I don't want to be looking through dirty windows. So it's the first thing I do when we get in our camper is clean the windows, especially if we've been traveling. So if you follow us at all, you know we like to travel camp. Like, this isn't normal for us to just sit at a lake. We're normally driving across the United States, and so we pull in somewhere and our back window is always filthy. So I usually get out and clean it because I want to see what we're looking at, even if it's for the night. But it's so easy to do. So Matt's got his, this is his EnviroCloth. He wanted to show y'all.
Yeah, that's what an EnviroCloth should look like. That's a tried, true, tested EnviroCloth. I use that on everything.
Get your guy his own EnviroCloth and don't care what they do to him.
Or 3 or 4, like I've got outside.
And then we have, this is an old one, but these are our spearing nets. They last forever. They don't rust. And I like using these. He keeps it out here in his little...
I use it for the Weber, so when I clean it, yeah.
But it's also handy to have one for your marshmallow sticks. And you can just, easy water, just clean off the sticky marshmallows and everything on your marshmallow sticks. Lots of different things. So let's head in. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I use in the kitchen and the bathroom, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So,
Go on in.
there's no bugs.
Yeah, we're sitting next to the lake. There's quite a few bugs out, so we're kind of constantly battling them. So, all right, let's go in.
Here you are.
In. Here's the guy you're seeing here in wine, Archie. Watch out, Archie. Okay.
Okay, well, let's start right away since we were on the windows before it gets dark. So I have my own EnviroCloth in the camper. And if you've never seen this demo, like this is always in your home. So the thing about a camper, this is my traveling home. So I want the same thing. So I just stock my camper with Norwex as well. So EnviroCloth, window cloth, no paper towels. So when you're camping, like there's not a lot of space in here. So I love Norwex for space saving, but also there's no trash in the cap. Cash in the trash. I love how Sarah always says that. Cash in the trash. I'm not just throwing paper towels away when I need to pick up a spill. So remember that blob that was on the window? Like, so I just want clean windows and dry it. All right, done. Now, just to give you a little bit more
I
trust
zoomed
in
in.
how well this is. So here's some butter.
I accidentally zoomed in and I can't zoom back out.
Oh, pinch it.
Okay.
See if it'll.
Nope, that's not working. Oh, there. Okay, there it goes.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
Let's go to the microwave, right? Like, if you catch on, like, we're kind of glampers, not campers, so microwave. Guys, remember the power of the EnviroCloth. So it's going to take all that butter right into my cloth. I can flip it around, get a streak-free shine. So, great for your stainless, anything. So I'm going to fold it so I've got now 6 more sides that I can clean with. And I can use this EnviroCloth to clean all sorts of stuff. This is a really always dirty thing. You can probably see all the handprints from our kids. So I knew I was doing this demo, so I wanted to leave things kind of dirty. So you kind of get the idea. So these are my windows that I love to have clean when we travel. So EnviroCloth window cloth, you gotta have that in your camper because when you're ready to pack it up, you clean everything. It's easy peasy. So these are the 2 things I also will use in my bathroom when it's time to go in there. So in the kitchen, again, staples for camping. Mini cutting board, super handy to have in your camper. It's small. We have all 3 sizes.
Or large or medium, yeah.
Matt loves the cutting boards. I've already used this one twice today for lunch and dinner, and it's just easy to clean up. It's got a silicone grippy so it doesn't slide on your countertop, which makes it great so when you're traveling, it's not sliding around somewhere in your cabinet, so that's really nice. Plus, I love these for space saving, so containers to save your leftovers, whatever that might be. So I have a drawer and I just have these in there stacked like that, and so when it's time to use them, you just pop them up. You can put your food in there. So pretty handy. Love having those containers. I pulled out the bamboo cloth. This is some that people really like. It's like an EnviroCloth but with a little extra scrubby. So I've got a lot of different Norwex cloths, but my go-to is the EnviroCloth. So again, fresh produce wash. Now some of you might be like, how do you get the little bottle? Well, this was before, we don't have them anymore, but I just have these little ones. What you do is get some samples, take your big one, make little sample bottles and store them in your camper. It's really easy to take the little ones. Kitchen towel, kitchen cloth. Yellow is one of my favorite colors, so I grabbed this before they went discontinued. So it doesn't matter what color you have in your camper, if you're a matchy-matchy person. I love the yellow. It's just fun to have in here. So again, my kitchen cloth, just like at home. This is how I wipe my counters off every day. The kitchen table. I do this handle, I mean, because you're camping, right? So it's just dirty. The fridge handles, the pantry door. I rinse it out and it hangs here and it dries every day. And so in the next morning, the silver, right, doesn't stink. So I love using that one. I have 2 sets in the camper because sometimes we're gone for 3 weeks. And so if I'm not able to get it washed, I have another set. And then a kitchen towel to dry all the dishes, right? There's no dishwasher in here. We're the dishwashers. So we wash the dishes and dry them. In the camper, because we might be doing dishes and leaving, so this usually sits just right here, and I haven't done dinner dishes yet tonight. And so when I do the dishes, they sit right here. They either dry while we're gone, or the kids will dry them, or we dry them to wash dishes. All right, now we're getting into washing dishes. So again, camping, we are big on reducing waste, like I said. I'm not going to say that we never use paper plates, but it's very rare. So we will keep paper plates if it's, we'll stop at a truck stop to eat lunch, but over most of the time, I would say 90%, 95% of the time, we're using actual dishes and we wash them. So I don't want to throw away trash as much as possible. So we do dishes a lot. So I bring my Biozyme. I love the Biozyme, especially when you're camping and you're doing a lot of grilling. This cuts the grease really well. So again, this is a refill. So this is a glass bottle, but you have the glass bottle and then you're not rebuying bottles. You're just bringing the little tiny refills, which I forgot to bring out here. They're back in my bag. Actually, they're right here. Ooh, can I get them?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm going to turn the TV off because it's extremely distracting.
Do what?
I mean, I love Mythbusters, but it's completely distracting.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay, so, oh yeah, I have that in here too. Okay, so you've got your little Biozyme, right? So in your camper, all you have to do is store this, right? So this is your soap. If you need a refill, you're stocked up, ready to go. So it just depends on how much you're using when you're doing it. We also have just regular dish soap. I mean, so I have both, but I typically use this. And then we've got our old school hand soap. Now, we don't sell this bottle anymore again. However, for those of you who maybe have these older bottles or you've got the plastic ones, again, this is just a refill stick. So I like the plastic one because as we're traveling, this is one of the products that I typically just throw in this bucket. I don't know if you can see the bucket. But when we're driving down the road, right, everything has a place. And so because we might get out, we need to wash our hands, I just throw this in the bucket, right? So it's not glass thrown in there. And the same thing in the bathroom, but I just refill it with our orange refill sticks, the powder sticks. You could do a glass one, which is totally fine too. You're gonna see these. I wish we sold these. We had them at Christmas time, so the next time you see them on sale, who cares what the pattern is, right? I like it in here because it sits where we're turning the faucet off and on. And
What's
the
that
box
called?
is here. I don't even know.
Remember?
It's a non-slip.
I didn't know if it was like a...
So I don't have water sitting there when
Yeah.
we're pushing it on and off. Another fun, again, reducing waste. So even though we're in our camper, we always bring our reusable bottles. So we never buy plastic water bottles, like a case of them or anything like that. If we're drinking anything different, my kids of course love pop, and so if we're on vacation, but I don't drink pop. This is probably my favorite sparkling water, and this is really the only time we buy it is when we're camping. And what I like, especially when we're local, we're doing this kind of stuff, we keep the cans, take them home, recycle them. And so that's something, just a little tip, I guess, what we do to try to reduce waste and reduce plastic. down here underneath the cabinet, so you always, people always want to know, how do you store your stuff? So while we're traveling, I just bought this little thing, and it's actually way too big for storage. But I'll put all those bottles, the kitchen bottles, down in here, and there's my mop pad. And then I have a little baby cleaning paste to clean my kitchen, this stainless steel sink. And then I have another sparing net, another set, and then there's my refill of soap right there. So it's super easy. Everything gets put in here when we're traveling. And then I also have lids, right? So we don't have saran wrap in here. We don't have plastic baggies in here. I'm not saying that people don't use them. We don't. We do the best we can to try to reduce that waste. So got all of these in here as well. So that's kind of the kitchen. Am I missing anything? It's a lot, right? Oh, fun little tip. So in your campers, when you're driving and these get really wet, again, we'll use them for days, even a week or longer. But it might be really wet the day we get ready to travel. You can do this at home too. So take your towel and grab the tag and go through the tag, and you can hang it on your oven so it's not falling on the ground. So you can do that at home. Super easy to do, but that's how we do it while we're traveling. So anything I'm missing? The mop. Okay, I want to share a tip about the mop, because I really think this is super important. Yeah, I don't, because we have a rug down over there. But I wanted to show you guys.
It's wet though.
I know. So we have slides, right? We have 3 slides in this camper, and when you bring your slides in, you want to make sure your floor is clean, because if it grabs like a rock, or if you've got little kids and there's a marble or a crayon or a pencil or something that gets stuck underneath the slide, your slide comes in, it can rip the flooring, right? We don't want to do that. So I do love having this mop system that you can offset this mop, and I'm going to go this way maybe. And we'll just show you a little, I'm going to go back around the corner over there. Just a little example here, but you can take your mop pad and go underneath your slide, where it'll let you, and make sure there's nothing underneath there. So even with the dog, like pet hair gets underneath there, all sorts of stuff. We do like this mop for even getting bugs, cobwebs, all sorts of stuff off the ceiling. But again, use the mop for mopping the floor, all sorts of stuff. Gotta have the mop in here. So it's better than a broom, right? Because the broom just moves stuff around, the mop actually gets it. And then the rubber brush to brush it off outside, you're good to go going on. So let's go to the bathroom. We'll wrap up in there. Oh, here's a couple more things. Look, optic scarf to clean your sunglasses before you go outside. We have this black cloth, all-purpose cloth, I think is what it is. So since it's just Matt and I, we don't have the kids' towels and all sorts of stuff everywhere. So we hang our towels out here just to get some more dry time, and these are totally dry from last night, so they're good to go again. And then coming in here, everybody likes to see little tiny bathrooms, right? So imagine a family of 5, right? You get it down to a system. So we have our chenille hand towel. I do keep 2 of these in the camper, so it can get pretty wet, but it dries. Again, it has the silver in it, so it self-cleans the whole time. So there's not these paper towels and all sorts of stuff everywhere. And then I do have more little samples. So again, grab your full bottles and make sample bottles of mattress cleaner and bathroom cleaner. I do that for the toilet. We have the new bathroom cleaner, again, that would go in that bottle with the refill. That totally, I've just done this for so many years that I'm just out of habit. I just use the EnviroCloth and a bathroom scrub mitt, but you could have the bathroom cleaner and spray down the shower and the toilet. But I'm going to show you how I've always done it for so many years. So in the little shower in here, can you see me? Mm-hmm. We have command hooks up here and all those little nuts. And then our body cloth. So this is how we clean our face, makeup, body, all sorts of stuff. So that's mine, Matt's, and then I have the bathroom scrub mitt. So on our last day here, taking a shower, I just clean the walls down with my bathroom sweetener. So you can add your bathroom cleaner to it or just water, but I always clean it down because I want it to stay clean for as long as possible. And then, again, shampoo and conditioner. If you guys have never tried our Norwex conditioner and shampoo, it's fantastic. So especially in a camper, you don't want all this residue in your camper because it's going in your tanks, it's building up, right? You don't want that in your tanks. You don't want it in your home, your machines, anything like that. So in a camper, we want things flowing as smoothly as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the cleansing powder. So I don't want all the chemicals in the junk. Then I have a bath mat for just a really thin bath mat to step on. This is my favorite part, probably coming into my bathroom. This is how I store all my skincare. I literally just take it from my bathroom at home and bring my skincare with me, lotion and makeup. Pretty simple. So there's my other hand soap when we're traveling. It just goes in there like that. So lots of fun ways. So again, EnviroCloth window cloth. It's my favorite. Come in here, shine up the mirrors, wipe everything in the bathroom, and I do the toilet last and hand mop the floor with the EnviroCloth. That's how I clean my bathroom. But it's super fun. So anyway, I hope you guys learned something about camping. Anything I missed?
I don't think so. No, we covered it.
There's always fun stuff.
It's amazing how much Norwex stuff we have in here.
Right.
I don't realize it until you start going through it all.
And there's probably more.
Probably.
And I think one of my, I like to have a clean house, so I like to have a clean camper. So it is something that I do quite often because I want it to maintain and be in good shape. So we've had this camper,
6 years?
6 years. Yeah. I think it's in pretty good shape. I bought myself a vacuum because I love to vacuum. So I vacuum the carpet every couple of days. And when Archie's with us, I do it more often. He doesn't really shed, but this time we've got more bugs, and so I like to they kind of die by morning, so I like to suck them up. But anyway, I love camping. If for those of you who enjoy camping, let us know. If you've got tips to share, let us know. If you have a friend or someone who might learn something from this video, please share away that you're welcome to do that. But thanks for joining.